Language. I'm a kid, asshole.
Hey, Walking Dead fans, this is going to be a video talking about the new spinoff series, some ideas, some theories, just going over some things that you guys have said also, and some theories that you guys have thrown out there. So if you watch my spinoff announcement video that I released, you'll know that I said, man, I hope this is a prequel, even though it pretty much says that it isn't, but it also says it is at the same time. I'll explain that. But you know, everybody, I've only read a few more articles, but I've read some headlines and stuff of articles I haven't gotten to. It seems like everybody says that it's set in the future and Judith may be the character and all this kind of stuff and some of the stuff that I'm going to say. But now that I reread kind of the synopsis and, I think it's a mixture of both, or it's a prequel that'll lead into more current times, and I'll explain that. But who are the potential characters for this? It's a female lead, double female lead. It's a coming of age story. So the top people right now that you just throw out there, off the top of your mind, of course there's Judith, the top one, and the top one I think of a couple of articles that I read. And then there's Gracie, Aaron's now adopted little girl. And then there's Lydia. I don't think it's her. But there's also Fear the Walking Dead's Charlie. And to me, she has the most potential kind of from what the synopsis says. But let me read the synopsis again before I kind of break it down. And it says it will feature 2 young female protagonists and focus on the first generation to come of age in the apocalypse as we know it. Some will become heroes. Some will become villains. In the end, all of them will be changed forever, grown up and cemented in their identities, both good and bad. Okay, so going back over that, I'm kind of leaning toward if it's not Charlie, then it's somebody that we don't know. It's none of the above. It's not Judith. It's not Gracie. It's not Lydia. It's not any of the other kids. There's actually several kids in the Walking Dead universe, I guess, at the moment. And a lot of you are screaming Clementine, Clementine, Clementine. And, personally, I would love, just absolutely love, I think, a show based on that game. To be able to see the interaction and everything, it would just be really cool. I don't think they're going to do it. And the main reason that I say that is that it's a comic-based universe. The comic is one universe and the show is kind of another universe, is the way they're treating that. That's why there's different characters and different things happen in the show versus what happened in the comics. And since the Clementine story is more of a comic-based thing, I just don't know if they'll take it to the show. Could it be in the future, several years later after the game, we're following Clementine? That's a possibility. That would just blow my mind, actually, to be honest. I don't think it's going to be that, but, Skybound did take over that game. So, boom, there you go. Could be. I mean, that would be so exciting. But as of right now, I don't predict that. As far as what I think, I don't think it's going to be a Clementine thing. So what does it say? It features 2 young female protagonists and focus on the first generation to come of age in the apocalypse as we know it. So they grew up in the apocalypse as we know it, and they're still young. Late teenagers, early 20s. Could it be sisters, for an example? I don't know. I think it's just someone different than in the show because we've already followed them up to a certain point. And, the huge problem with all of that is, let's say we do a show on Judith in the future. Okay, what happened to Michonne? What happened to Carol? What happened to Daryl? What happened to, all of these characters that we don't know what happened to yet? And how will they explain that? Will they just not go there and it still be a show about Judith in the future and never ask what happened to the other people? So that's what's kind of tugging at me, that it's not any of these characters. It's saying that there will be a hard way to tell a story, to dance around the fact that what happened to all these other characters, right? And that's why I said I was kind of pointing towards Charlie, if anybody, because we don't know. Something could happen to most of those characters. Let's say Morgan and John, possibly Alicia could move over to the main show or a spinoff or a movie or something like that if Fear the Walking Dead ended. And Charlie could then be off in this show several years later. I mean, it could be a Charlie Alicia show kind of thing, possibly, from what they're saying, but I don't know. Let's just say I think it's going to be more of a brand new set of characters. We may come in on present day. Maybe there's flashbacks and we follow them from day one all the way up. We get their backstory all the way up to present day, because here's what it says. Some will become heroes. Some will become villains. In the end, all of them will be changed forever, grown up and cemented in their identities, both good and bad. So I'm going with new characters, and we follow them. Maybe not through flashbacks. I'm hoping there's not flashbacks, because I hate that a little bit about The Walking Dead sometimes, the way they use that, especially in Fear the Walking Dead. I think we're going to get the backstory, how they grew up through the apocalypse. As we know it, it says, as some become heroes, some becomes villains. And we're definitely going to be a present day or in present day, because grown up and cemented in their identities, both good and bad. So flashbacks is kind of what that's screaming at me. How all of this relates to the main show or Fear the Walking Dead, that's the big question. If it's not one of those main characters, Judith, Gracie, Charlie, and the way it sounds like from their filming schedule and everything, as soon as, I guess, season 10 ends of The Walking Dead, that show should begin. And I'm thinking the same night it ends, it'll premiere for a marketing thing, but I'm not sure exactly how they'll do it. But definitely 10 episodes, 10 weeks of that show leading right into Fear the Walking Dead. That sounds about right. The information is just so vague right now. We don't have a title or anything. So hopefully all of that will be coming in the next few weeks, and we'll be doing videos and talking about that, I'm sure. There's just so many questions to ask right now. If it is Judith and it is a future show, could be about Judith in the future as she's older. Is she a warrior? Is that kind of the environment and the story that it is? The world? Did it become violent? Or is she simply a politician, or a mixture of both maybe? Is she leading a community? Or is she just the lead of a small band of people out in the world trying to make it and survive? There's just a lot of questions to ask. Even if it's new characters, even though they're shooting in Virginia, is it set somewhere else in the United States? I'm kind of doubting that it's set somewhere else outside of the United States. I mean, really, there's just so many questions swirling around in my head. I could make this go on forever. So I'm going to stop right here. You guys throw what you think down in the comments below, and let's kind of hash it out a little bit. More information should be coming out soon, and we may all look at each other and go, boy, do we have that wrong or that wrong or that wrong. And I know some of you would be like, haha, I guessed that the whole time. But I definitely can't wait to see how this story unfolds, to get that new information and see what this is all about. And I'm actually kind of excited for it. Some of you guys said in the comments you're not, but I hope you hold out. I hope you watch it. I hope you give it a chance, and spread some more love in the world. You know what I'm saying? As always, thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe for more dead stuff.